Aberdeen is 500 miles from Westminster, the oil and gas capital of Britain. And in recent years, it's seen boom, bust and Brexit.
You know, it's a pretty gloomy day here in Aberdeen, and in many ways that's a reflection on how the economy's been here in the last few years. A slump in the global oil price saw investments pulled here, and a lot of jobs were lost too. And there are fears that Brexit could make matters worse.
It's the start of a long journey for me to discover what people really think about Brexit. And it begins here, a small shop owned by Zoe James in the heart of Aberdeen. Hello, Zoe.
Hello.
This is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
So how long have you had this place?
4.5 years. We opened in November 2014, yeah. I think that we've kind of lost our way a bit, and I think we should be more self-sufficient and depend on ourselves.
How do you feel about the way that Brexit has panned out?
I'm very frustrated. I have a huge amount of sympathy for Theresa May. I think I wouldn't necessarily have voted for her. I wouldn't. But that doesn't change the fact that she's taken on an impossible task, and she will never be thanked for it.
There are 6 million small businesses in the UK, all pretty keen to find out how Brexit might affect them. So I've come to chat to Craig Willocks, who owns this bookshop. How do you feel about the way that the Brexit process has been dealt with by politicians?
To be honest, I think when the vote came through initially and we'd decided on, going for the Brexit side of things, I think there was a lot of surprise throughout the world that we'd done that. And I felt a certain amount of embarrassment that we were doing this. And the whole process since then, if anything, it's just made me as a sort of British person, Scottish person, a bit more embarrassed. I wish, in my heart of hearts, that we weren't doing it, but I guess people have voted for it, so we've not got much choice in the matter. But no, it's not affected me personally or my business massively, no.
So if Brexit is there, but life goes on.
Life carries on, yeah.
What is it? Lovely to meet you.
You too.
I'll see you very soon. I'm going to continue on.
I think that's how Theresa May negotiated that deal with the European Union.
Not everyone is taking Brexit so seriously.
Anyone saw that photo opportunity she went on at the end of last year?
Comedians like Vladimir McTavish are having a field day at Brexit's expense.
I can think of no better metaphor for her government than that. Blindly heading off with no one in control.
Brexit, the unlikely ingredient to a Saturday night out.
Waste of time. We just need to accept that it was a bad idea. We need to go back and beg them for forgiveness.
Definitely go to a scientist, get a time machine, go back in time and tell everyone really what Brexit is all about, and then people would vote accordingly and we wouldn't be where we are right now.
I think we should just forget that it ever happened and go back.
I'm leaving Aberdeen to head south into the northeast of England. On the train I meet Hilary Race, a manager in the NHS who voted Remain. How do you think this story will end? How do you think the Brexit story will end? Like 5-10 years and we go, God, remember Brexit?
Yeah, personally I hope we Remain. I still would like to think that
And if we don't?
If we don't, we'll just have to go with it. There's nothing, the people voted.
It might not be that bad though, might it? It might not be that bad.
It might not be that bad.
250 miles south of Aberdeen is Newcastle.
And here they're watching Brexit really closely because a no-deal Brexit, according to business leaders, could affect the northeast economy more than anywhere else in the UK. And remember, the story of Brexit here in the northeast was that the vast majority of people here voted to leave the EU.
How did you vote in the referendum?
Me, I voted to leave.
Are you happy how it's going?
Nah.
Depressing.
Are you having a good Brexit?
No.
What do you think should happen then?
Basically cancel it.
Demoralising.
Would you be happy to extend if it meant that we got a better deal?
I'd be happy to extend it infinitely, to be honest.
Not leave?
Yes.
Upsetting. That's a lot of words, sorry.
I'm heading along the Northumberland coast to the port of Blyth. One of the biggest sticking points in Brexit negotiations has been how Britain will trade after Brexit. and ports across the country are watching those negotiations very closely.
We have seen the uncertainty around Brexit has perhaps put a pause on a couple of investments, not our own, where we invested more last year than in the previous 2 or 3, but 1 or 2 of the potential inward investors to the port are perhaps waiting to see what happens with Brexit. All we need as British ports is for that uncertainty to be concluded, and we can go on to continue to do the vital role we do for the economy.
But also we add that extra layer of uncertainty, don't we? That not only do we need to solve the uncertainties surrounding Brexit generally,
yes,
but when on earth we're going to leave.
Well, that's right, and it is not just about whether we have tariffs or not, it's just knowing what that final conclusion is, and is it going to be delayed for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 2 years, who knows?
The final stop on this Brexit journey is Torquay, the English Riviera town that turned its back on Europe and voted leave.
I think it's disgraceful, and I think what will happen is that come the next general election, I think their votes are going to be majorly down.
Jackie Hopper is getting tired of waiting for Brexit.
How do you feel about it dragging on for another few months, even another year?
I've had enough of it. I'll switch off.
Anne Dolby swapped her teaching job for a taxi cab a few years ago.
How would you sum up Brexit in a word?
Just, I'm only allowed one.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Why?
Because nothing's happened. It's been 3 years and nothing's happened, and I just feel like it's all internal politics, got nothing to do with what the British people want.
It's funny though, isn't it, Anne, because Torquay and this area voted quite heavily to leave. Do you think that was a mistake? Do you think you might see some negative effects?
Yes, I think I was for leave originally, but if there was another vote now, I think I would definitely vote stay. Mainly because I'm realising the trouble and the hassle it's taking just to leave.
Our journey from north to south has revealed a nation left looking on, powerless to do anything about Brexit. Those pulling the strings now, the decision makers, the politicians, still left clambering to find a way out, yet haven't quite managed it. Nick Martin, Sky News.